Okay, good morning students. Electrochemistry part 2. Already I told you the electrochemistry will be divided in 4 parts. Out of 4 parts, first part we completed. Now part 2. Part 2, galvanic cells. So lower standard we are learning what about galvanic cells. The best example for the galvanic cells is Daniel cell. So we have to compare with the electrolytic cells. Difference between the electrolytic cells and galvanic cells. After completion of galvanic cells, you will see the differences between the galvanic cell and electrolytic cells. So this see the common points between the electrolytic cells and galvanic cells. Galvanic cells chemical energy is converted into electric energy. Chemical energy is converted into electric energy. Means here you are giving input is chemical reaction and output is electric energy. If the chemical reaction is done, then chemical energy will be electric energy will be released. So whether it is spontaneous or non-spontaneous reaction. Generally we are thinking the lower standard galvanic cells we are thinking Daniel cell, normal battery, alarm battery. Whenever you are keeping the battery inside the alarm, so alarm will be automatically working. Meaning the inside automatically chemical reaction will be started, electric energy is produced. So it is a spontaneous redox reaction. It is a spontaneous redox reaction. Spontaneous redox reaction means as per thermodynamics, the reaction is spontaneous. Gibbs energy will be negative. In electrolytic cells, delta G value is positive. If the delta G value is positive, delta H is also positive. At the same time, galvanic cells, if the delta G is negative, so delta G is equal to delta H minus T delta S. So the delta H value is also negative. Negative stands for it's an exothermic reaction. So name itself exothermic reaction, energy will be liberated. Yes, batteries can release the energy. Correct only? Exothermic reaction. So before going to the galvanic cells, we will see one simple experiment for the galvanic cells. I am taking a beaker. The beaker containing copper sulfate solution. Beaker containing copper sulfate solution. So already copper sulfate is a blue color solution. Now I kept one zinc strip inside the copper sulfate solution. So it is a zinc rod. It is a zinc rod. Zinc rod is dipped in a copper sulfate solution. After some time, it becomes after some time, you are seeing the solution is like this. There is a reddish brown color precipitate. Reddish brown precipitate. And the color of the solution becomes colorless. This is the zinc rod. See, what we have to observe. So, tell me the observations, what we are observing is observations. observations. First number one, what we are observing is blue color solution becomes colorless. Blue color solution becomes colorless. Second one is the mass of zinc rod will be decreases. Mass of zinc rod is decreases, and here observing there is a red color precipitate. There is a red color precipitate here observing, and we can observe one more. Temperature is also increases. Another observation is temperature is also increases. Temperature is also increases. So these are the major observations we are observing. Means here we have to observe what chemical reactions are done. Mass of zinc rod will be decreases means zinc will be dissolved. Zinc will be dissolved. Zinc will be dissolved means zinc solid becomes zinc ions. Zinc rod will be dissolved, and copper will be appears. Means copper ions, blue color solution that gaining 12 electrons becomes copper. Meaning zinc can undergo for oxidation, zinc can undergo oxidation, and copper can undergo reduction. Now you can balance these two equations. You can get Zn plus Cu plus 2 is right, Zn plus 2 plus Cu. Here I am showing the entire cell in a 1 degree cell. Actually, galvanic cells see how it is. You know, our academic textbook also there will be copper zinc electrode only. So we have to observe which is the anode and which is cathode. Which electrode can act as anode and which electrode can act as cathode. So as per our SRP values, zinc value is 8 and copper is 16. Zinc value is 8 and copper is 16. So already we know high SRP value, low SRP value. Low SRP value can act as anode and high SRP can act as cathode. High SRP value is cathode. So anode oxidation and cathode reduction already we wrote the reaction. Sometimes they will give a question like this. Zinc can displace copper or copper can displace zinc. It is more reactive. Which is more reactive? Zinc is more reactive than copper. So zinc can displace copper. Copper sulfate solution I am taking. Copper sulfate solution I am taking. I did the zinc rod. Copper sulfate solution we are taking. Zinc rod is digit. So first suppose if it is reverse, I am taking the zinc sulfate solution. Now we can dig the copper. What happened? Think no reaction. Why? Because copper cannot be displaced zinc. Zinc can displace copper. Why? Because zinc is more reactive. Zinc low SRP. Low SRP already we are seeing the last class itself. Highly reactive. You are seeing the question number 1 3.1 also. You are adding the metal, increasing the order of their displacement capacity. So zinc displaces copper. Now see the first galvanic cell construction. How it will be constructed? Galvanic cell construction. So generally galvanic cell will be constructed by the galvanic cell construction will be cell will be constructed means majorly we need three parts. First one is reduction half cell, reduction half cell, second one is oxidation half cell, oxidation half cell, and third one is solid drainage. Solid drainage. So the parts individually we will discuss, then finally we can combine, we can get the galvanic construction. Okay. Now see, I am going to discuss about first reduction half cell. Reduction half cell. Already we told the name itself, reduction half cell. So reduction half cell means the reaction takes place here is reduction. So reduction takes place. Reduction takes place. Reduction takes place means reduction is the gain of electron. Reduction, gain of electron. So generally you can take the cell construction like this. That is solution. Gain of electron. So electrons will be gained. Gain of electron. Now this is our metal. This is our metal solid, and this is our containing metal ions. That is aqueous. Now, whatever the metal you are taking, the same related metal solution only we can take. So reduction means reduction. Reduction means gain of electron. So gain of electron means simply we can represent like this general representation. Metal ion is the aqueous medium. Sorry. Metal ion becomes metal. That is called as reduction. Metal ion becomes metal. Now, reduction. Already know, reduction means gain of electrons. Otherwise, metal ion becomes metal. Meaning, metal ion becomes metal means inside there is a metal ion solution. Metal ions becomes metal. Meaning, these metal ions are moved towards this metal. Reduction will be generally at cathode. Cathode reduction, metal ion becomes metal. See, then the metal ions are moved towards cathode. General reduction is reduction at cathode. General reduction is done at cathode. Already studied nickel, we are seeing this one. Reduction at cathode means what happened here? Metal ion move towards metal. Metal ions move towards metal. So now the potential is developed. Whenever the metal ion move towards metal, after some time the metal ion concentration in our solution decreases. So after some time the metal ions concentration, where the bracket indicates concentration, metal ion concentration will be decreases in our solution. So there is a charge difference. Charge difference between metal rod and solution, or metal rod and solution. So charge difference between the two particles, that we can say charge difference between the two particles, that we can say potential is developed. Potential is developed. So what potential is developed? So here the reduction we can see that is called as reduction potential. That is reduction potential. See, the reduction potential can be represented by reduction. So potential is developed between the metal rod and metal ion solution. That potential is called as reduction potential. Simply we can represent it as RP, reduction potential. Reduction potential can be represented by E. Metal ion becomes metal. E metal ion becomes metal. This is called as reduction potential. If you are calculating reduction potential at standard conditions, reduction potential at standard conditions, at standard conditions. So you are calculating the reduction potential at standard conditions. Standard conditions is temperature is 198 Kelvin and pressure is 1 atmosphere, concentration is 1 molar. Concentration is 1 molar. So at these conditions you are calculating the potential, that is called as standard reduction potential. Simply we are represented by SRP. You are calculating the reduction potential at a standard conditions, that is called as standard reduction potential. Standard reduction potential can be represented by E naught, metal ion becomes metal. This is the standard reduction potential representation. Now see. Next, oxidation potential. This is the reduction potential. And one more important definition for us. One more important point regarding the reduction of cell. In the reduction of cell, solution pressure is high. Solution pressure is more than osmotic pressure. Solution pressure is more than osmotic pressure. So what is meant by solution pressure and what is meant by osmotic pressure? Solution pressure means the pressure is developed due to the migration of metal into its ion. The conversion, the pressure is developed. What is meant by solution pressure? What is meant by solution pressure means the tendency to convert metal into its ion. The tendency to convert metal into its ion. That is called as solution pressure. Osmotic pressure means the tendency to convert metal ion into metal. Osmotic pressure means the tendency to convert metal ion into metal. Metal ion into metal. That is called as osmotic pressure. Now this is regarding the reduction of cell. Now see students about the second part of the galvanic cell, that is oxidation of cell. Oxidation of cell. Name itself, oxidation means already known. What is the oxidation? Loss of electron. Oxidation, loss of electron. Loss of electron. Electrons are going out. So loss of electrons. Through the metallic rod, electrons will be lost means metal becomes metal ion. Loss of electrons. So anyway, oxidation means already we told that what is meant by reduction of cell means where the reduction takes place. Oxidation of cell means where the oxidation will be take place. Reduction of cell means where the reduction takes place. Oxidation of cell means where oxidation takes place. Oxidation takes place. Generally, where oxidation takes place at anode. Oxidation will take place at anode. Now, general representation for the anode is metal becomes metal ion. Metal becomes metal ion, the same number of electrons. The solid and its activity. So this is oxidation of cell. As usual, when the metal move towards from metal anode into metal ion, there is a here. See, metal becomes metal ion means after some time the concentration of metal ions in our solution will be increased. Previous concentration of metal ions will decrease in our solution. Now metal ion concentration will be increased. So chart the difference between the metal and metal ion. Chart the difference between metal and metal ion. Metal and metal ion. That is, we can say, potentially developed. That potential is called as oxidation potential. Oxidation potential. So oxidation potential simply we can represent by OP. As usual, standard conditions you are applying is standard oxidation potential. Standard conditions applied, you can calculate the standard electrode potential. So standard electrode potential will be represented by E0. Normal electrode potential, normal oxidation potential will be represented by like this. E, metal becomes metal ion. Standard oxidation potential will be represented by E0, metal becomes metal ion. Metal becomes metal ion. So as usual, now the third and most important thing is salt bridge. What is the importance of this salt bridge? Salt bridge. Now, the third part in the galvanic cell is salt bridge. Salt bridge. Generally, salt bridge is an invented YouTube. Salt bridge. Most important thing is why we are using the salt bridge in the galvanic cells. Why we are using the salt bridge? What is the importance of the salt bridge in the galvanic cell means? First of all, how the salt bridge will be constructed. Salt bridge is a inverted U-shaped glass tube. U-shaped glass tube. And second one, this inverted U-shaped glass tube, it is filled with agar paste, agar gel with electrolyte. Generally, these electrolytes are what we are taking is KCl, KNO3, KCl, KNO3, NaNO3, ammonium chloride, generally these compounds can consider as a electrolyte. So, what is the importance of the why we are taking a salt bridge in general? First of all, importance of the salt bridge. What is the importance of the salt bridge? Always working on salt bridge. Working of salt bridge. What is the working of the salt bridge is? It completes the circuit and maintains the flow of electrons. It completes the circuit and maintains the flow of electrons. It completes circuit and flow of electrons. Flow of electrons. Second point is it maintains the electrical neutrality in the solution. What is the working of this thing is it maintains electrical neutrality. Maintain electrical neutrality. Electrical neutrality means in solution. Salt bridge can connect the both half cells. Salt bridge connect both the half cells. Both the half cells. It completes the circuit. Already it completes the circuit. And most important thing is it reduces liquid junction potential. It reduces liquid junction potential. Okay. Now see carefully what we are going to write in the electrolyte cell. Sorry, galvanic cell. So whatever we are discussing all these three parts, now we are going to match all these three parts and again I am saying the construction of the galvanic cell. So left side I am taking there is a beaker and it is filled with an electrolyte, any one of the electrolyte. So galvanic cells generally we are taking zinc and copper. Already I told you galvanic cells. Best example in your book, zinc and copper they are taking. You can construct whatever you need element with the combination. Zinc number is 8, copper number is 16. Already I told you. ISRP can take as cathode. And OSRP can consider as anode. Both anode and cathode. Anode operation and cathode operation that generally we know. Now see, always we can consider left hand side is there is anode. This is anode. And this is generally taken as zinc. It is solid. Zinc is dipped in zinc sulfate solution. Zinc is dipped in zinc sulfate solution. So zinc sulfate solution is it is a gas. Anode. So already anode of cell what? Anode operation is loss of electrons. So it can lose the electrons. So electrons go like this. Second half cell is cathode. Cathode is reduction. Now again you can consider one more beaker filled with a solution. but right hand side already we know, always right hand side getting the cathode. This is the cathode. Cathode. Cathode generally here for this one we are taking as copper. Copper is dipped in a copper sulfate solution. Copper sulfate solution. This is. Okay. Now it can gain the electrons. So it can gain the electrons like this. Cathode oxidation, loss of electron. Cathode reduction, gain of electrons. That we know. Now see what points we are taking the each and every. Anode oxidation. So oxidation is loss of electron. So we are going to write the equation. Anode zinc becomes Zn plus 2 plus 2 electrons. Zinc becomes Zn plus 2 plus 2 electrons. Electrons can be lost to the outer circuit and zinc ions are coming into the solution. Zinc ions are coming into the solution. Now after some time what happened? Observe. After some time, okay, anode is always oxidation. Oxidation means loss of electron. Loss of electron. So after some time what happened? Carefully observe. This is anode reaction. This is anode reaction. After some time, the zinc ions concentration will be increased in our solution. More number of zinc ions are coming into the solution. So automatically after some time, zinc ions concentration will be increases. So meaning zinc ions concentration is more in our solution when compared with sulfate ions. For suppose whenever we are starting zinc sulfate solution is taking. So 10 zinc ions and 10 sulfate ions are there. After some time, 10 more zinc ions are coming from the zinc metal. So automatically zinc ions concentration will be increases and sulfate ions concentration will be decreases. So mass of zinc load. Mass of zinc load. So ions are coming out continuously. Zinc mass of zinc will be decreases. Mass of zinc will be decreases. At the same time, what happens in the cathode cell or sequencing? Cathode reduction gain of electrons. C plus 2 plus 2 electrons gives rise Cu. This is cathode reaction. This is cathode reaction. Now, carefully observe copper ions. There is a copper ion in our solution. Copper ions becomes copper. Becomes copper means these copper ions are moved towards copper electron. Already you know cathode reduction. Reduction means copper ion becomes copper. Metal ion becomes metal. Metal ion becomes metal. So after some time in our solution, copper ions will be decreased. Why? Because copper ions are able to go and deposit the electrode. So sulfate ion concentration is more. Sulfate ion concentration will be increases. Next, copper metal, mass of copper metal will be increases. Why? Because copper ions are deposited. So mass of the copper will be increases. See, after some time cell will be dead. Why? Because already I told you, circuit is not completed. Circuit is not completed. So we are going to complete the circuit with the solid bridge. Now, solid bridge, there is an inverted U-shaped glass tube. There is an inverted U-shaped glass tube. That glass tube is filled with the glass tube is first see the what points we are writing solid bridge. Solid bridge contains two form cells. Solid bridge will be helpful for the migration of electrons. Solid bridge is containing there is electrolyte with agar is the organic gel paste. See what happens in left hand side anode after some time there is zinc ion concentration increases. In right side sulfate ion concentration increases. For suppose, if there is no other phase and there is no KCL what happened. So one important point we are writing the Kalman cells. One important point. If this is only U-shaped glass tube, what happened? Due to the capillary action, the ions are coming like this. Zinc ions concentration is no. Zinc ions are coming like this, and sulfate ions are coming like this. Now both are meet at one point. Both are meet at one point to form zinc sulfate. That is precipitated. This point is called as liquid junction potential. Liquid junction potential. Junction potential. Both are meet at a point. What happens? The cell will be dead. Why? Because there is precipitated form. If the precipitated form, there is no movement of ions, there is no migration of ions. What happens? The potentiality of the cell will be decreases. So that other patient KCL, not only it can join the two of cell, there is a very most important skill will be there, that is it can stop the liquid junction potential. If the at liquid junction potential both the liquids are joined together, what happens means precipitated form, the efficiency of the cell will be decreases. Here students here, we are having a lot of doubts. Anode positive or negative, cathode positive or negative. Anode can release the electrons. So release the electrons means it is electron rich. Electron rich means anode is negative. Cathode is gain of electrons. So whenever cathode is gain of electrons, it is a positive. Positively charged electrode. That's why it is ready to gain the electrons. So negatively charged electrode. That's why it can give the electrons. So simply how can we memorize? Means this is lone. Lone stands for left hand side oxidation, left hand side oxidation, anode negative. Lone means left hand side oxidation, anode negative. And this one we can memorize like RCP. Right hand side reduction, cathode, and it's positive. Already I told you students, don't memorize like anode is always negative or positive, cathode is always positive and negative. See the differences between the galvanic cells and electrolytic cells. Galvanic cells anode positive, cathode negative. But in electrolytic cells anode is positive and cathode is negative. But in galvanic cells anode negative and cathode is positive. See observations carefully what the differentiation what we are observing here in the construction of the galvanic cells. Clear? See. I am going to write down differences between electrolytic cells. These are cell construction. Okay. Later you can give a small gap here. Later I will fill this gap. Give me the gap here. Later I will fill this gap. Okay. Now see the differences between galvanic cells and electrolytic cells. Differences between galvanic cells and electrolytic cells. So now already you know the diagrams. Keep in your mind, and tell me carefully the differences between the galvanic cells and electrolytic cells. The difference between the galvanic cells and electrolytic cells. The first major difference is in galvanic cells, chemical energy is converted to electric energy. but in electrolytic cells, electric energy is converted to chemical energy. Right? Now, it is a spontaneous redox reaction. It is a spontaneous redox reaction, and it is a non-spontaneous redox reaction. Non-spontaneous redox reaction. And moreover, as per thermodynamics, spontaneous means delta G is negative. When delta G is negative, means delta G is less than 0. So obviously delta H is also less than 0. Moreover, it is a exothermic reaction, energy is liberated. And it is a, as per thermodynamics, delta G value is positive. Delta G value is positive means delta G is greater than 0. So obviously delta H is also greater than 0. So endothermic reaction. Here, salt bridge is required here. There is a salt bridge. Salt bridge is required, needed. But here, no need any salt bridge. Salt bridge is not required. And one of the most important differences between galvanic cell and this one here, anode is oxidation and cathode is reduction. Anode is oxidation and cathode is reduction. Already told you the entire chapter is common for anywhere. But here anode is negative, cathode is positive. ఇదే ఎలక్ట్రోలైట్ సెల్స్ లో యానోడ్ పాజిటివ్, యానోడ్ ఇస్ పాజిటివ్, cathode is negative, cathode is negative. So these are the major differences between galvanic cells and electrolytic cells. See the cell representation. See the cell representation. How to represent the cell? Cell representation. See the cell representation. How to represent the cell? So there is rules and regulations for the representation of the cell. There is some rules and regulations for the representation of the cell. So what are those rules and regulations for the representation of cell means? Rule number 1. First, anode we can represent followed by cathode. Anode we can represent first, followed by anode represent, followed by cathode we can represent. Second one, anode and cathode separated by the double slash. Anode and cathode separated by double slash. Double slash. So double slash means first we are writing anode, so we are writing like this, and cathode. Third point is that double slash represents the salt bridge. So salt bridge can be represented by the double slash. And there is rule number 4. Components is differ by the single slash. Components in different phase. Components in different phase components in different phase are separated by single slash. So how we have represented basically metal bar, metal ion. Metal means it is solid. Metal ion means it is aqueous. Otherwise, metal ion slash metal. Metal ion is aqueous. Metal is solid. If the two different phases, if the components are present in two different phases, we can represent by the single slash. 51. If the components are in the same phase, if the components are in single phase, separated by comma. Means, for example, I am giving the Fe plus 2 ion and Fe plus 3 ion. Fe plus 2 becomes Fe plus 3. Means one electron is lost or one electron is gained. This is also X medium and this is also X medium. The two mediums are same, so we can represent by comma. Next. See the previous based on these rules. So I give some blank here. Based on this one, first anode separated by cathode. Anode, zinc left side, cathode right side copper. Second one, in this zinc field, what happens in the chemical reaction? Zinc becomes zinc ion. So zinc is solid, zinc ion is aqueous. So this will be happening at anode. At cathode, copper ions becomes copper. So copper is solid, copper ion is aqueous. The two are in different phase, separated by single slash, and there is a salt. This is the cell representation of the galvanic cells. Any two elements they are given, how to represent the cell representation? Like this. How to represent the cell representation? Like this. Now, most important thing for galvanic cells is how to calculate the EMF of the cell. So before going to the EMF, already in last sessions we are discussing. While you are calculating the EMF of the cell, we need one important thing, that is standard hydrogen electrode. Okay, see how to calculate the EMF of the cell. Now most important thing for us, calculation of EMF of the cell. Calculation of EMF of cell. How to calculate the EMF of the cell? EMF of the cell can be represented by E cell. EMF of the cell. So general EMF of the cell can be calculated by the EMF of the cell can be calculated by two types. EMF of the cell can be calculated by two types. At standard conditions and at non-standard conditions. So already we have already standard condition, non-standard condition. Standard condition means temperature must be 298 Kelvin and pressure must be 1 atmosphere and concentration must be 1 molar. These are standard conditions. Non-standard conditions means maybe temperature is different, maybe temperature is different and pressure may be different and concentration may be different, not 1 molar. In this chapter, most familiar given is non-standard also and standard also, but most familiar given they are getting for is non-standard. So EMF of the cell. See how to calculate the EMF of the cell. EMF of the cell means in our cell there are two components: left hand side anode, right hand side cathode. Anode oxidation, cathode UV reflection. So left hand side anode can provide potential that is called as oxidation potential, and cathode can provide there is a potential for us that is called as cathode reduction potential. So the sum of anode potential and cathode potential that is called as EMF of the complete cell. Anode is oxidation potential and cathode is the reduction potential. So sum of oxidation potential and reduction potential that is called as EMF of the cell. Okay. Now see here. First suppose I am taking a reduction. A becomes A plus electron. A gives rise A plus electron. So this is oxidation. So oxidation is writing like this. Potential anode oxidation, E oxidation potential. That one I am given as, for example, some X volts I am given. The same reaction. This is here for purpose anode. Anode oxidation. The potential is developed at oxidation is called as oxidation potential and again X volts. Cathode is reduction is gain of electron. A plus electron gives rise to A. That is called as reduction potential. So E reduction potential. Is it how much? Think. So thermodynamics how we were solving is normal is reversal. So reversal cell is minus X volts. Meaning, so you have to write E oxidation potential is equal to minus of E reduction potential or vice versa. Whatever you require. Why? Because I am writing like this. EMF of the cell and moreover E oxidation potential at anode. E oxidation potential at anode and E reduction potential at cathode. This is very important. If you are not mentioned, it is very confused. Now, I want to change oxidation potential into reduction potential. Oxidation potential I change into like this. E reduction potential at anode. Sir, you have to say anode is always oxidation potential. Oxidation, but I change the sign. I change the sign means oxidation potential becomes reduction potential plus E reduction potential at cathode. Otherwise, or you can change reduction potential. I keep first time cathode I kept constant and anode I change. Now anode I kept constant. E oxidation potential at anode minus E oxidation potential at cathode. Okay. Now see. Otherwise, both I change. E reduction potential at anode plus E change both minus E reduction potential oxidation potential minus E oxidation potential at cathode. Careful students, plus or minus are reference. But out of all these four formulas, we are going to use only this formula alone. Why? Because already you know that clearly they are giving only reduction potential. हम ఇది మాత్రం యూస్ பண்ண टीचर लो. How to calculate the EMF of the cell is only reduction potential we are going to use. Okay? So don't confuse with the four formulas. Only reduction formula alone we are going to use. I am going to write again. E cell is equal to E reduction potential at cathode minus E reduction potential at anode. This formula only we are going to use for the calculation of the EMF of the cell. The same formula you can write for the standard conditions. E naught is equal to E naught reduction potential at cathode minus E naught reduction potential at anode. This is this formula at standard conditions. At standard conditions. Now already I told you EMF of the cell can calculate with the two ways, that is one is at standard condition, another one is at non-standard condition. Now I derive the formula for the standard condition. Now non-standard condition, it is also called as Nernst equation. Nernst equation is also called as Nernst equation. Most important thing. Nernst equation. Okay? Now see how to calculate the EMF of the cell at non-standard conditions by using the Nernst equation. Anyway, you want to calculate the EMF of the cell. So one example I will say for the standard condition. One example I am going to say for the standard condition. Now you are writing zinc cathode. Same I am taking. I am taking cell representation zinc bar zinc plus 2. That is solvent C plus 2 bar C. This is solid. So aqueous. And this is aqueous and it's copper. It's solid. They are giving E naught Zn plus 2 bar Zn. Standard reduction potential. Reduction again standard reduction potential for zinc and standard reduction potential for copper. Standard reduction potential for copper. Okay. See the standard reduction potential for copper is 0.34 volt and standard reduction potential for copper is 0.34 volts. And this is 0.76 volts. Then calculate the standard E naught cell value is how much? So here there is a doubt. So E naught standard value we know. First tell the formula for the E naught cell. E naught cell formula. E naught cell is equal to E naught cathode minus E naught anode. E naught cathode minus E naught anode. Sorry, so minus 0.76. The value of zinc is minus 0.76. E naught cathode. Here cell representation lo left side anode, right side cathode. So cathode anodi cathode copper. C plus 2 bar C minus E naught anode Zn plus 2 bar Zn. So doubt Then yavu oxidation ana, but you are writing yavu reduction. Already told you the formula will be always in the reduction potential, is not in the oxidation potential. That's why we say change the sign minus. Okay, here on copper 0.34 volts minus of minus 0.76 volts. So total that is plus 1.1 volts. 1.1 volts. See galvanic cell. So normal battery. Normal battery. See the capacity. Voltage capacity of the battery is 1.1 volts. Okay, students. So this is galvanic cell construction, cell representation, and EMF of the cell calculation. Then the remaining things we can discuss in the next class. Thank you.